Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Pachas Voice. I make animated short film and animation related stuff in my channel. Basically, I try to make animated short film, but it ended up some random animated scene. Anyways, so recently I have finished my last project, and that project I made this in. I am quite happy with the result, so I try to make a breakdown sort of video for this scene. I'm still learning things in Blender, but I try to explain how I made that scene entirely in Blender from scratch. I don't use any add-on and assets. So I was using Blender 2.90 and we start the scene with some simple planes. It will be our ground, so subdivided the planes couple of times, then add displacement modifiers, and then put some texture on it, like clouds, Musgrave and Voronoi. It will create some small hills on the ground. Then the ground which is closer to camera, I add more detail on it. After that, I made plants, grasses and trees. So I model plants and grasses and some trees made from Blender sapling tree add-on. You have to enable it from preference section. Then I model towers and power lines. So towers are made from basic shape and power lines made from curves. After making one tower and power line, I copied them few many times by using array modifier. Then added a sphere with emission texture for sun, and also add a sun lamp for lighting of the scene. Then we have to spread the grass and plants into the ground. So first we have to assign the places for the particular plants and grass and trees. I use wet paints for assign different areas for different kind of plants and trees. Then I use particle system to spread them into the ground. Then after I add some low poly birds which I had from my previous project, so I just import them in this project. They had some flapping animation. Our scene is almost ready. So for materials, I don't use any very complex material. They are just simple diffuse, glossy and principal BSDF shader. So almost everything had diffuse shader. For metallic surface, I use principal BSDF with full metallic value, and others are just diffuse shader with their color. And for tree leaves and grasses, I mixed glossy and translucent shader with diffuse for little glossiness and translucency. For water, I just use plain gloss shader with 1.333 IOR value, which is water's IOR. Then for our sky, I don't use any HDRIs. I just put a gradient texture on color ramp node for different gradient of sky. For clouds, I use a half sphere extruded from all side for volume, and then use different type of noise and Musgrave texture for cloud kind of shape. Then plug them into a volume scatter node. So this will create nice looking clouds. Before using volumetrics in cycles, I lower the volume samples value, so it will reduce the render time. Otherwise, it takes very long renders. Then our scene is almost ready. So I took some test renders and post them on my social medias and ask for reviews. So my power lines was very curvy, so I later fixed them, and before hit the render I did some compositing inside Blender compositor. I enable mist environment and emission passes for compositing in Blender. After some little changes, I again did some test render and post them. This time I get better result, but power lines again did some problems. These power lines got me some real trouble because after copied them several times, I had to fix each one separately. So I fixed the power line and did some little adjustment on scene. Then also added scarecrows and signboard. I go for animation. So before the animation, I used Blender's denoiser node, and this is very powerful node. It clears the noises from final render image. It allows me render at low sample for animation in cycle. This is very powerful node. It also creates some patches and flickerings on glossy surfaces, but it worked for me. For denoising node works properly, we have to enable denoising data from render passes, then connect albedo and normal value to its node. So I think I demonstrated everything I did in this scene. Now I am playing the final animation video.